First, I want to just tell you that I'm honored that I've been invited into this kind of sacred space with you and to be here. And so I'm interested in hearing from some of your perspectives. What brought you to the Nurturing Fathers program here?
Sure. Well, actually, a good friend of mine, Sylvester, gave me that opportunity, told me about it. And, it's rare that, because we have such busy lives, for him to have reached out to me. So I figured that, if he was going to be recommending something to me, that it would be something good. And, I didn't think it was going to be this good. This is really great.
That's fantastic. That communication between men is important, right? And those recommendations and opportunities. When you think about kind of yourselves as little boys and the relationships maybe that you had with your fathers, what do you think about what might you want to do differently or repeat because you thought it was done well for you as a child?
Some things I would like to do differently than how my father did was, one, just be present in the moment. Don't take any moment for granted. Just be there, be present, be available, and then just be open and be vulnerable with your kids and show emotions. Okay.
I know for myself, my dad, he always said, I love you. And obviously that's powerful for a father speaking to their kids. And I want to continue to do that all the time. It's important to say it, but also show it as well. So those few things are an important piece that I'm going to continue to do till I can.
Yeah, I love that. That's important, right? A lot of times as men, we didn't hear that. You were fortunate and blessed that you did. A lot of men, we don't hear, I love you from another man, a father figure. And so then that sometimes becomes something really hard for us to do. It's amazing that you had that and recognized the value of it. So just a great blessing. One of the things I wanted to talk about was a little more than midway. You guys had a play group where you brought your children in and you led them through activities in that. What were your key takeaways in that? What did you enjoy most about that? Or what was the most challenging about that you learned from?
Well, what I really enjoyed is, again, after, connecting with these gentlemen, was to see just how unique each of the children was, right? And in some instances, I was able to say, that's, you're just like daddy. So it was kind of funny just to be able to participate in their lives for that. I think it was about 2 to 3 hours. We played games together and such. So that's really what I enjoyed. Just each of them was unique. They each had their own little personalities, and it was fun to see them enjoying themselves.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I have one. I think for me, I've always been interested in the father space, and just being blessed to be a father was just that opportunity for me to learn more. But one of the things I've learned is in that session, and just in general, is that play is very important. And man, we tend to roughhouse, and we somehow find a way to make something playful. And I know sometimes it's not following the script, it's not doing the sequence that everybody expects, but it works. And I think that's one unique role that we bring to the table. And I saw it with everybody here. I saw how they brought their own unique version of play.
Yeah. And that's spoken like an early childhood professional. We hear teachers talk about that, about how important play is, and especially a father's role in that play, because we do bring a unique dynamic in our relationships with our kids. I agree with you that kind of roughhousing, especially with our boys, that roughhousing, that play, that wrestling, how valuable that is in our connection with them. I think that's great, right? So if another father was to ask you about this program, what would you tell them?
I think I would tell them that it's time very well spent. Investing in something like this is going to pay huge dividends, and to be honest, whether you wanted to or not, just the fact that we spend so much time together, these things begin to, permeate the mind. And as you go through the weeks, you see opportunities, to apply the tools, and it starts to happen second nature. Then we come back, we share our victories, we share our challenges. I think it's time well spent.
Yeah. Does anybody else have thoughts about that question?
Sign up. That's basically it. I mean, you nobody's at 100%. Nobody's perfect. So there's always things to grow on, to understand. There really isn't a perfect father. So being able to equip yourself with the right tools, it's really important. Iron sharpens iron. So being able to understand that.
Yeah, I think, you talked about we can always learn, right? I've said a lot of times in meetings, I feel blessed that I've been in the early childhood or the child and family services issue area for like 30 years. But every day I learn something new. You said there's always that opportunity. The other thing that comes to mind is, the title of this and what you were here for was to become better fathers, right? And nurturing fathers. But how did this impact other parts of your life and other relationships in your life? Did you see that?
Yeah, every day for me, I got to see it. I noticed that the tools that I've learned here, I could even use it for my work or how to deal with other adults on a day-to-day basis and understand what true patience and seeing their side, their point of view, how it could change the whole dynamic on how you view a situation.
Yeah, it's incredible. Anybody else have experiences where they feel like this went beyond just the relationship with their children?
Yeah, I was able to reach out to my dad and have those conversations with him that I wasn't able to have prior to this program, and just going through every week was something different. It was a different challenge, a different thing to talk about. Some emotions came up, and being able to have that tough conversation with my dad, finally having a conversation with him, yeah.
It helps you kind of build some bridges and take some steps forward. That's incredible. Is there anything you'd like to add that really just shares how this program impacted you and why it would be valuable for others to consider spending some time in a program like this?
We touch on it lightly, but I think it helps healing the child within. Because if you have internal healing, emotional healing, mental healing, you could project that to your children. So I think just a beginning step, to not only be a better human being, but be a better father.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's really I talk to a lot of men and I listen a lot, and I notice that there's a common theme with us men that we struggle with sometimes relationships, and it's a struggle we don't want our kids to have, right? So if we don't want them to have that, we need to do something about it, right? And so it's good that men are opening up more about it, and like luckily in this group, everybody was pretty good about expressing, but some are not. And we need to support that. We need to encourage that. And the only way really is to get into something like this, to have that space where you're safe. I mean, I've always felt safe, but I understand some people that don't feel safe. And you have to be open to that, and not just, kind of put us all in that one category, like, oh, he's a tough guy. He's just, he's a dude, he should be able to take it. He should, So I think for me that's really it. Just letting know that's okay. Because I talked to one of my coworkers, 60-year-old guy today, talking to me about his 30-year-old kid. And I told him I said, well, we use some of the tools that they taught us here. I said, well, you set the boundary, just let him know that he's always welcome back. If he follows he's always welcome back. So
now you've become the instructor.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Can each of you give me one word that just kind of describes how you feel moving forward after attending these classes here?
Empowered.
Dedicated.
Awesome.
Camaraderie.
Confidence.
Hope for a better change.
Yeah, confidence for sure.
Motivated.
So very interesting. All those words, very positive, have a very positive reflection to them. It's just exciting to hear the experiences you've had in the classes. And like I said, I'm excited and honored that you've invited me in to be here as you celebrate this, and just real proud of you guys and what you've accomplished and kind of what's going to happen as you move forward in your lives and then in the lives of everyone you're going to touch. So thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.